I want to get to the for a moment, if we can, to the craft of writing. And I know you've spoken a lot about it, so I don't want to recreate all of that content. But I'm particularly interested in writing as spellcasting, and one way in which I've experienced it in your writing is the way you create place, the way you create spaces. So everything from, Northampton in Jerusalem, which everyone talks about, but for me, even the preface to Harvey P. Carr's Cleveland did the same thing. This understanding of place as these, that's why I talked about it in the intro, this way of I'm somewhere completely new, but it feels like that dream that I forgot that I had, that it when you write about space, as opposed to many others, great writer William James or Henry James, and they people write about space in a great way. But I feel like I'm, or any of the great novelists, I'm learning about a new place. When you write about place, I feel like I'm remembering a past life or something like that, like it feels like
Thank you.
home in a weird way. So I'm wondering, are you exploring these spaces as you places as you write about them, or are you creating them? Do you know what I mean? When you walk the
Yeah, I
streets
know.
of Long London, do you feel like you're a cartographer discovering a pre-existing dimension, or are you an architect laying the bricks as you go?
I'm glad you asked this question, Douglas, because it's something that has been on my mind increasingly. And I'd say that the answer is to some degree both. I have to say that I am creating it because the implications of me exploring it are a bit strange and a bit far reaching. So, however, I don't want to deny that because one of the feelings that I've been getting, particularly on these long London books, is that I'm deliberately trying to augment history. I'm trying to take these marginal events and characters and to write a more fantastical, but I believe a more credible and persuasive story
Yeah,
to fill in the spaces
right.
between these fictions and rumors and facts. And I have been, while writing it, I've been thinking, coming up with all of this pantheon of arcana, these giant symbolic beings that only exist to symbolize and to signify. Coming up with all of them, I'm thinking these sound great. I'm really impressed, despite myself, with these figures that are emerging. Is it possible that I am in some way writing about something that's true? And I think I am, but I don't think I'm writing about something that happened. I'm thinking I'm writing about something that is true, even if it didn't happen, which I believe is something that Chief Broom says in the introduction to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is true, even if it didn't happen. Um, and and I've been thinking, so where is Long London? Does that exist? And I thought, well, yes, of course it does. It's a platonic ideal of London that is in everybody's minds. It's the it's the imaginal space of London that the physical London is founded on. We are all founded upon a landscape of insubstantial ideas. That's what the material world is built from. We are living inside our unpacked imaginations. So, yes, of course, in a sense, Long London, this symbolist territory, that's real. So, what about all of these mysterious doorways then, by which people can enter it? Are
Right.
they real? Yeah, in a way, but uh, they're in your head, or at least they're in my head, and hopefully in the reader's head once they've absorbed that language, that prose. That in a way, if I am, perhaps the answer is that in terms of I am doing some construction work on Long London, but it's in the reader's heads perhaps rather than mine. What I am doing as a writer is exploring this place that I have found in my head, and I am trying to map it in sufficient detail so that the reader can then go through a, an entrance in a back alley or something like that in their own
Mm.
mind. It's a lot like this is a writer that I don't particularly care for, but C.S. Lewis. I
Uh-huh.
remember when he was asked, "Why did you write a story about a fantastical world that is accessible through the back of a wardrobe?" And he said, "Because it's true." And I know exactly what he was talking about. And
Mm.
so, yes, in a sense, these art fictions, all of these things, they are doorways. They give you access to a world. It just depends on how rich a world that is, how informative a world that is, how useful a world that is.
Mm.
But I mean, like the thing of space and place. I mean, I've come to think that there's perhaps not much more than place in fiction because everybody, all of the characters, all of us, we grow out of the places that we inhabit. And at the same time, those places, they grow out of us. We are influenced by the places, the streets we walk all our lives. Um, and yes, we will go on to influence those streets, but it's like the important thing to me is to I just believe everything. It's like I was saying about artists earlier on, that sort of I believe that they should see themselves as magicians. I want to re-enchant everything. I believe that everything has become massively disenchanted. I believe that when we walk down our streets, we see ourselves as ciphers walking through a bleak and meaningless industrial landscape. If we could see those places with all of the richness and all of the colour of their history and meaning, then it would be an Arabian Nights marvel,
Yeah.
and we would be wonderful creatures for inhabiting it.